what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Rhythm Doctor reaction. Today we have Lucky Break and One Slip Too Late, as requested by Joshua the Great and my executive producers. And I'm very aware of this game now. I've heard many songs from it, but also the storyline, as Joshua warned me, or I guess just told me, not really a warning in this case, of what the story for these songs are. So I'm aware of that going in, and I have the context to piece together. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Ooh. Oh. Oh, we going smooth jazz.
Ready, get, set, go. 2.
Hmm.
2. 2. 2.
Oh, just, it's a chill start.
3.
I mean, this whole song's gonna be chill.
3. 3. 3. 2. 2.
You know,
3. Stop.
I know that Joshua specifically wanted me to watch these for the context and gave me these links, but the music is so, like, overshadowed by the sound effects and trigger stuff. This, like, moments like this are fine, but, like, it's like the voice and everything, it's so much extra. It's like I can honestly, like, struggle at times with stuff like those over top of it. It's kind of a bummer. I can kind of work through it, but it affects the experience of the actual song, unfortunately.
4. 3. 4. 3. 2. 3. 3. 2. 2. 4. 4. 3.
I love how they, like, bump their songs up like this. Ooh, nice delay there.
3. 2. 3. 4. 3. 4. 1. 2. 3.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I'm hearing more sound effects than I am actual music, unfortunately. It's just, I know it's like a byproduct of everything, but I'm gonna have to re-listen to this without the sound effects because it is affecting my listen to the song enough. It's just too much, honestly. Do be like that sometimes. I actually, I have a friend who had, like, a major injury in their sport. Luckily, it was in high school, so it's not like they were going to be missing out on, like, league play. That was never their, like, goal in life, but, like, I've seen that, like, mental struggle just, like, as a friend going, like, damn. Who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed that the better musical experience would be just listening to the song itself? I get that, like, obviously the context is there, and for those who are playing the game, the sound effects are a thing, but I listen to the song on its own, it hits so much better emotionally. It just straight up does. There's really no argument there. Listening to it on its own, I was like, oh, there are the emotional swells. There's the, like, the big pushes in the track. You could feel when this tension is at its absolute peak. But then you compare that to the gameplay and it's like, you can't hear any of that because all those dynamics are lost underneath all the sound effects. I know, again, this is just because I'm wanting to hear the song, and my point of doing videos on this channel is definitely focused on that. The story is important, but the ideal version of these videos would be somebody who uploaded like a sound effect less version, like only the music during the gameplay, so you get all that context, all the little cutscenes and everything that happened for the story between, without all of the extra sound effect bullshit, because it really does affect the listening experience for people like me who want to hear that part and hear what the song is having to say, rather than being told it through exclusively the dialogue and then struggling to hear through all the sound effects. All of that rambling and complaining on my own part aside, this song does exactly what you would expect from a jazz song, which is everything is sevenths, everything is flat fifths. That's the whole fucking point. Like, everything in this song. Every single time you have, like, instead of a D minor, it would be a D minor flat fifth. So stuff like that, like stuff that gets really grimy, and like they lean into those like heavily emotional tensive moments, stuff that like, sure, a D minor on its own is already really emotional and it presses into that whole feeling, but that feels wrong. It immediately makes you go, ooh, that's disgusting. Something is severely off here. And most of them were flat fifths with a seventh, so stuff like that. So we're still hanging on that higher note for that relationship there with just the three. If we remove the fifth, you still get that high note relationship that feels very smooth and proper, but ugh, you know? And that's with like most chords in this song. We get that with the A flat, we get that with the B flat, we get that with the F. It's like all of those chords, I just played the main triads of those, have flat fifths somewhere in this song. I think there's even one point where it did like a suspended fourth for the G and the F. Somewhere in there, like, oh man, it was just beautiful. These are the things that make jazz as a genre so emotional, is like the sevenths, for example. Having those extra little notes above, and sometimes in the song, major sevenths, just depending on what the scale needs, you adjust whether or not you're using a standard seventh or a major seventh. It's basically just like a half step difference in most cases. And for this case, you kind of just have to place them wherever fits the song. That's why we have so many flats that kind of feel like they ruin the song when you're listening. So if you get those flat fifths, just like that D minor flat fifth, it's like, ooh, that shouldn't be that way, and it immediately makes you recontextualize the entire story. And these are the things I couldn't hear while I was listening to the main version with all the sound effects. I was not able to make heads or tails of most of that because it was so low underneath everything. Again, I'm not blaming Joshua for this. I know he wants me to hear the story. I get that 100%. But I have to like re-listen to these songs in order to actually respect what they are, because they're extremely well written. They're so well done. The journey that they're taking you on musically is in its own right, its own separate beauty compared to, or even contrasting, the story in some cases. It really just depends on what they're going for. You could have a happy song reflecting a sad moment, vice versa. It all depends. Things like anime themes do that all the time. Super happy, energized, pump you up sort of music. The lyrics are depressing as shit. It's just how things go. But this song is definitely no different. Beautiful, sitting in the key of C minor for the most part from what I could tell, and it just felt really nice. So I'm going to listen to the other one. I'll probably again have to double listen to it depending on the sound effects, but we shall see. So let's go.
Get set, go.
Very different energy there. Ooh, lyrics.
Go. And stop.
I was kind of expecting more jazz, but sure.
Go.
Literal lyrics. I know the lyrics do tend to be kind of literal, but that was like so straightforward. It's like perfectly cheesy. I kind of love how like it's serious, but also the lyrics are kind of not serious. Just in how cheesy they are.
Do you know, did you hear, his play was play of the year?
Was that him on the news?
Video had a
I know these two.
They call him a show-off.
But they're not wearing his clothes.
My hero would never hesitate to take his shot.
Close my eyes, count to 10. Could you take me back to then? Get set, go. Take me back to my dreams. Before the best was in the past. When the crowd went wild.
I do absolutely love their like effort in these videos too. Just how much detail they put into like contextualizing things for the game itself. I've always respected that. They do a really good job.
S plus.
S plus. See, that one was a little bit better with the sound effects getting in the way, and I think that's just because they had the lyrics there, so it kind of helped balance things on the top. They made things a little bit more clear up there, but it still kind of suffered from being like side-chained underneath and kind of getting undercut for the song. So for this one, I don't think I really need to break down the music theory stuff nearly as much, because most of what this song does differently is entirely in the feel of the song. You have a completely different emotion coming through for this one, so comparing it or contrasting it to the first song, kind of like I mentioned, funny how that ended up working out, this is a little bit more of like, I would say kind of like, and I understand, like, they're not losing their spark in a way, like, they're still kind of reminiscing over that past that they had, but they're also not letting it, like, ruin everything they could in the future, whereas the first song was that fear of the unknown of what it could mean, and I like that dichotomy going on there. That balance is very nice, and I really appreciate that, especially showcasing it in not only the genre, but having the character sing it as well. That adds an extra layer of that personality and personalizing the song even beyond what it was. Sure, the first one had a lot more context in like the whys and hows, but this one just had straight up, here's what's going on. I kind of wish this didn't happen, but it doesn't mean that it's like the end for me. Like I'm still me, you know, like having that self-actualization moment and realizing that it's not everything. That is actually something I have a very personal experience with because I'm a type 1 diabetic. And when I was first diagnosed at the age of like 15 or 16, I had that exact same like face flushed. Like when they told me, I was like, oh shit. And it's like, you go through this immediate denial, like that could never happen to me, that can't happen to me, why does this have to happen to me? And immediately I'm like, no, my life is over, I'm done, I might as well not live till tomorrow. And you hit that, like, it's immediate depression basically when this sort of like life-altering things happen to you. But now here I am 15 plus maybe years later, and I'm not really even thinking about it on a day-to-day basis. I still have to do things, like I just changed my insulin pump today, but that doesn't mean that it's ruined my life. I just have to watch what I eat a little bit closer and be aware of what my food is made of, basically. So that's become a normal part of my life. I've learned to adapt to that, and I think that that's very much the same energy that this song is trying to get to. Just the, hey, I had my moment, it doesn't mean my life is over, it just means it'll be different. And that's terrifying in its own right, and in some ways is depressing, but it doesn't mean you've lost your sense of self, or at least it shouldn't mean that you lose that sense of self. So that to me is the biggest takeaway from this song. Not so much the music for this one, albeit I did like the genre change, and it's definitely a different song from the first one, so I really do like that contrast. It's just that the actualization in this one and the lyricism even being cheesy aside, I think it was very well done and well balanced with that first one. It's always nice to see people not be afraid of making such a significant genre leap to change the energy of the story, you know? So many people are like, well, if it doesn't like call back to that somehow, then it can't count as a callback, and that's not the case at all, you know? You can definitely make that happen through just a genre change. I mean, musical theater does that all the time. You'll have people with like motifs that are kind of like rocky, and then like when something goes wrong or like really hits them down, suddenly it's more like a softer like classical ballad. Like it's really just whatever the character needs, not what you as a listener is maybe expecting. And sometimes that shock to the ears and the system is good to tell the story even more thoroughly than they could have without it. So I guess that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to more stuff from Rhythm Doctor or anything else, by all means drop them in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Joshua did for this one, you can go to my Patreon, and if that tier is open, you can guarantee something out of me. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!